Hi class, just going to give you a video response to some things to think about for discussion board 3 as it pertains to female offenders. Many of you discussed the typologies, which I think is fine. I think also some of the similarities and differences. Female offenders just tend to look a lot different. As it relates to histories of abuse, there tends to be more. We tend to see a lot of a long history of abuse, whether it be sexual or other kinds of abuse. In my work with offenders who've committed sexual crimes, I saw probably just a handful of female offenders in the entire time that I was working with these folks. And the ones that I did see, they were typically co-offenders with somebody else. They would engage in, for example, one woman engaged in taking sexually provocative photographs of her daughter and herself and I think a cousin as well, to appease and send off to a male offender that she was friendly with who was in prison. And so her offense related really to exploitation of her child, who was between preteen and teen while she was offending. You see also women who are sort of like, for lack of better words, an accomplice to the sexual crime or sexual offending. So they may set somebody up and not maybe do the perpetration themselves, but set someone up to be offended on for all kinds of reasons. They themselves are often victims of trafficking or victims of whether they need food, they need clothing, they need money, they need drugs. And so there's all kinds of reasons. Certainly you have a more straightforward type, and you saw those in the typologies where they really perpetrate on, a child in a sexual way a lot, but the majority of the ones that I saw in treatment were the kind that I just described. So what I'm looking for in your post is that you back everything up with literature, and many of you do, that you think critically and analytically about the topic and come in with some of your own ideas that relate to the literature and then support that with literature. The other piece of it would be that at the graduate level, I would expect that there'd be several different kind of ideas that relate to the topic, not just sort of a regurgitation of the typologies and then some findings or some stats, and then that's the end of the post. So really the expectation is that you'll think about it critically, you'll maybe have some of your own hypotheses, you'll look to the literature for what's out there, maybe there's relevant factors, maybe there's things related to the typologies or other sorts of ways to look at something more critically and analytically. So that is that. There's also a written response to the discussion board thread in the announcements today. So thank you and have a wonderful rest of your week.